Hello and welcome back to Fireside Improv Chapter 36 of this Karl Franz saga, and we are going to start with a bit of a bang.
True servant of Sigmar.
With Kappelberg being colonized,
Protector of
Zavastra being colonized, and Volmir marching against Wolfenburg.
It is time.
But apparently he can't quite reach, so he is going to let his soldiers rest just a little bit before marching the rest of the way. Ralph Koch will be able to march and start the reconstruction efforts in Bekefen next. Further south, in the lands that have been at peace for quite some time, a testament to the great success the Emperor has had pushing back the demons and making friends. While once these lands were terrorized by the likes of Orion and Durthu, the great tree spirits of old, they have been at peace for many, many long years now. The Emperor has not forgotten the terror they have caused, but that is not something he wishes to open up again anytime soon, as the Empire deserves some peace once their lands are back to being fully united.
Ready. Bring me to my men. Into battle. War calls.
After his brief rest, Volmir does break camp to take Wolfenburg. The defense is paltry, and he is able to overwhelm it quite easily. Upon claiming the settlement, he immediately orders the construction, or rather, reconstruction of the great gold mines the city and region is known for.
Praise be to Sigmar. By Sigmar.
Ralph Koch goes ahead to the next destroyed settlement to recolonize it, rebuild it. The peasants that have been scrambling around in the countryside hear about the reconstruction efforts and the defeats of the demons that have been roaming about, and gleefully rejoin to rebuild their homes, their history, their wealth. Already, Wolfenburg, Castle von Rauken, and Norden have seen the fruits of their labor. The corruption is slowly going away. There are still pockets where the corruption was stronger, but time will heal it as long as they're able to continue keeping demons out of their territory.
The Empire.
Norskins are still coming through the pass towards southern Norsca. Balthazar Geltz still licking his wounds from his previous victory, but he will hold fast against them. He's not going to march out to meet them, but he will hold at the Bay of Blades.
Ready.
Meanwhile, the Emperor is
As
marching
is my right
towards
by
the Doom
Sigmar's
Keep
crown.
with Eldred.
Sigmar's right.
It is well defended, and they will need the entirety of both their forces if they wish to take it down. but it will be a strong place for them to hold in the depth of Norsca and prevent other settlements from being reclaimed, resettled by the Chaos Worshippers. The Norskins do think that they can challenge Balthazar Gelt, but they are sorely mistaken and their paltry force is annihilated. With the reconstruction efforts well underway,
Protector of the weak.
Ralph
Arch
continues
Lector.
to move across towards Vitevo.
True
While
servant
these
of
are
Sigmar.
lands that should belong to Kislev, the Emperor has full intention of returning them, but he also wants to make sure that the dwarves do not come further north and that the Kislevian borders are fully secure, so that when that war comes, it is one less pathway that the Emperor will have to deal with, and if he's lucky, he'll even be able to have the support of the Tsarina against the dwarves.
Praise be to Sigmar.
Gustav Klaus moves over towards
Arch
Kislev, the city, in order to push up towards Prague and Volkskrag,
Yes, my
while Volmir
Moving
marches
up.
up towards Erengrad. This multi-pronged attack will come swiftly against the remaining forces, such as they are in Kislev. All of the lands will be returned so that Kislev is a strong ally who can keep any further incursions at bay.
To the provinces. Who calls?
The Doom Keep is
In the name of
finally
Magnus.
under siege. The Emperor is going to give it enough time for Eldred to join him.
Ulrich's will.
He doesn't
The
want
Empire.
to risk
By
more
Sigmar,
Empire
no.
lives than he has to.
Attack.
If he has to, he will, but in this case, he wants to wait until he can utterly annihilate these demonic forces and take the Doom Keep as an outpost. The Emperor flies well ahead of his army as he has grown accustomed to do. He has seen enough bloodshed that he wants to take as much of the brunt of the enemy forces as possible to spare his soldiers' lives, something that they have grown to greatly appreciate and have become proud to call him their emperor. The Empire forces stay well back in order to wait for their reinforcements, while the Emperor marches right on forward in order to deal with the enemy demonic lord. The reinforcements arrive and seek to flank wide around the enemy in order to hit them on their rear and rout them as quickly as possible.
Return and deal death!
demons ultimately dissipate and vanish back into the realm of chaos, leading to a resounding victory for the Doomkeep and a new outpost deep in Norsca. The Emperor found great riches hidden deep in the catacombs of the Doomkeep that he did decide to loot and bring it back to the Empire in order to help reconstruct
Bring me to my men.
all of the cities that were looted during the invasions, as well as continuing to build the city of Oleg to commemorate his good friends that was lost early on in these wars.
Praise Sigmar. Moving off.
With the Doomkeep under control of the Emperor, he does take a moment to let his soldiers recuperate and order some soldiers back from the homeland to continue
marshal the
pushing
men.
forward. Eldred as well takes a moment to bring
Iron
some of
Franz,
these soldiers
they will obey.
back.
It is time.
Balthazar Gelt's wounded army requires reinforcements, and so for the time being, the push against Norsca is a little bit stalled, but it has done well. However, deep in the northern Chaos Wastes, Luen Leoncoeur is moving to punish the Demon Prince, Cormac Dowybreaker, going deep into his deepest, strongest fortresses in order to cut off the head at its source.
To the
However,
provinces.
further south, Volmir von
Into
Ralkov starts to push into Kislev, the great city of Erengrad is what his target is. He pauses to make great siege towers to scale its walls, and with the victory here, it would give Kislev back one of its strongholds to really help this arena build up her strength. Further south, Archaon has reminded the world that he is still out there. He has not given up. Gustal is not confident to immediately go after Kislev all alone,
Ever vigilant.
but together with Ralph Koch, the hope is that they can hold off Archaon.
Cast evil out. Death to the faithless! True servant of Sigmar. I will go. Volkmar will never allow it.
Archaon does choose to try to help hold Kislev. He believes that it is a key point to resume his invasions of the Empire. So outnumbered, he marches these combined forces of Norskins, Raiders, and demonic host entities against the combined might of Gustal and Ralph. Archaon rides alongside his host, returning from the Northern Chaos Waste, regaining his strength after his defeats. He came so close to marching right into Reichland, the heart of the Empire. Now he returns to try again, to bring ruin to human lands. The Empire forces make their line along the banks of the river and lake, forcing the Norskins to march through the freezing waters before ever entering combat.
By Galmaras! Heldenhammer!
Archaon moves to strike first in similar fashion as Emperor Karl Franz, marching right into the heat of battle, though unlike the Emperor who does it to preserve the lives of his forces, Archaon is driven by pure wrath to kill as many souls as he can. The Emperor's line does collapse, but they still have a lot of soldiers remaining in order to reform and push back.
We obey! Servant of Sigma! Ready for war! Sigma! Our friends!
Yes, sir, quickly! War!
Where's Sigma's heirs? Bowling ring!
Withdraw!
The Empire's Demi-Griff Knights attempt to hold back Archaon, but no matter where he goes, he simply defeats everything in his path and causes either death or terror. While there were great casualties on both sides, ultimately, the Empire's might, numerical advantage, all of it meant nothing against the strength of Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, who nearly single-handedly blasted through even the hardiest of the Empire's soldiers to save Kislev as a place to continue launching his assaults against the Empire. At the same time as Archaon was launching his attack to save Kislev, the garrison at Erengrad decided to come out of their settlements and attack Valmir in the open field. An odd choice, as they were promptly annihilated, doing almost nothing against Valmir. It is a victory that was sorely needed after the defeat at the hands of Archaon. More forces do stream into Kislev, but where in the past those forces would have been able to march directly into the Empire, now they are fighting over lost lands being reconstructed. Kislev is doing better under the rule of Tsarina Katerin. Soon more and more of the Kislevan territories will be reclaimed, and up in Norsca, more and more territories being either razed or taken, and up in the far north, the Bretonnians continue to push all the way up into the Chaos Wastes, where the Emperor can only hope that Louen-Leoncoeur will not become corrupted by its influence.